Hello guys, we're gonna change the blog setup for a little bit because of this guy, this girl specifically. And yeah, it's been a rough 7 days for the past it's a rough 7 days pretty much. When we all started this journey, first time we knew that we were pregnant, and now that we actually have baby Jasmine right here, so good to see. Lovely. Yeah, there's a lot of things that just went crazy, and we're trying to figure out how to actually make it work. So I'm setting up this new blog for like 52 weeks. We'll try and see what I can get out of it, or I mean, what I would be experiencing for the next year, and I'll make this into a commitment. Wherein, just give me a second, baby. Make this a commitment to actually report and tell you guys stories and how we're gonna figure things out. So, probably cut to the chase. First day. It's the giving birth part, really. Was a bit tense. It was a bit. I don't know how to. I really don't know how to explain it. It was just a little bit of rush of adrenaline and stuff like that. Just a little bit of rush of adrenaline, trying to figure out how to gonna do it. She's been up since 2 a.m. that day, and then when she told me like, "Hey, we need to go." Yeah. All right, definitely we're gonna go. All right. Pause. So, unfortunately, that didn't work out. So, we had to drive off. That's interesting. Anyway, I'll do that for the next week's story. So, moving on to to continue on to the next story, the previous story. So yeah, the delivery was really a challenge. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to expect. It was really one of those days where it tested my limits in terms of patience, in terms of like being calm, in terms of trying to comfort my partner. There was a lot of things going on, and it's one of those things that you don't really experience every day. So we got there. She was really in pain. Like, it was really bad. And that was the first time I heard my wife scream on the top of her lungs, and basically like ah! And I don't know if that's one thing that I can ridicule her about, but no, I wouldn't really say that it was one of those things that's so cool, but no. It's just one of those things that you feel bad about because you can't do much. Well, anyway, right after that, she was fully dilated after 10 hours. So that was literally 2 a.m. We arrived in the hospital at 6. She was dilated at around 12 noon. And after almost 2 hours, baby came out. I caught her head. We didn't even know if she was a she that time. Cut the cord. It was a weird feeling. Saying like, what's this? It's like it's like a puddle of hairy ball. And then afterwards, she's like, okay, this is an actual living thing. First thing you say with the movie is like, hey, why is she not crying? Why is she not crying? Just wait for it. He's gonna cry, and then the first cry came out, and it's like, oh God, we just gave birth to a kid. Amazing feeling that was. Well, at least I think for her that was amazing. For me, I was like, okay, just calm down, you'll be fine. So day 2, day 3 was pretty much we're in the hospital, and we were thinking, okay, yeah, we were still in the confines of a system, so should be fine. We were eating, we were playing with her, just making sure that she was warm, controlling temperature. The cushion Her bed was Jesse's bed was great. My chair was a chair. You can sleep on it. But yeah, you're still comfortable because you're around people who can actually like take care of you and say like, okay, what's wrong with my baby? And even though there are a couple of them, from time to time, they're just like, okay, here's what you're going to do. They guide you and they pretty much say what to do. The most, the scariest part probably was stepping out of the hospital. So stepping out of the hospital was, again, we documented it. They said like, oh, Jasmine is getting out of the hospital. And I'm like, all right, after this, it's just me and you. Right, Mom? Yeah, right. I was driving along the highway around 7 o'clock at 7:30 at night. It was a peaceful drive coming back home, but there was a bit of a separation anxiety at some point because you don't know what to do afterwards. You're not quite sure. When you reach home, you're gonna be fine. You have a little kid, what you're gonna do, how you're gonna sort things out. A lot of unknowns, really, to begin with. So we arrived home safely, thank God. She didn't cry. And then we just sat there and said, okay, how are we gonna do this? There were lots of questions that needed to be answered. So okay, I'll be on one side of things, making sure that the house is clean, making sure that everything is sorted out, things are being placed on one area, keeping things tidy, pretty much. And then just look at each other and say like, okay, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do next? So just look at each other, Jesse and myself, and say like, okay, you'll take first shift. So how am I gonna take first shift? So day after she pretty much didn't let us sleep. She just cried a lot basically and tried to figure out her cues and what is she trying to say. Essentially what we found out was babies would cry because one, they're hungry, two, it's too hot or too cold temperature, three, she's not comfortable, four, need to burp her, five, she's having discomfort or a wet nappy. Yeah. So in a span of 2 days I learned several skills. Changing a nappy, dressing up a kid, trying to sort out kids' stuff, and pretty much redoing house. No, there's nothing. So this is my wife. No one. Yeah, this is my wife. I'm literally recording this for my sanity's sake.
Okay. Yay, sanity!
And then...
You're doing a good job. I love you.
Okay, thank you, I love you too. So when we got there, we got to day 2 and then we're trying to figure things out. She was trying to feed Jasmine and I was trying to sort out everything else. And we kind of had not the best day because you don't know when to sleep. Not quite sure if you can sleep while she sleeps. At the same time, you need to look after her if she sleeps and Mama sleeps, because then who will make sure that Mama's energy is up? It's me. So I needed to sort some things out. Oh, and I had an event on Saturday. So the Saturday on that, I had to make a couple bucks for a friend. And then we first time I left the house all day long was horrible. Because you're trying to figure out if they would be alright or if they would settle. And it was already wee hours in the night when I came back. So that's another... Okay, I sneezed, sorry. And then when I came back, it was she was already on that phase where, I mean, Jessie was already in that phase where she was really, I don't know what to do. I'm tired. I'm trying to figure it out. And I said, like, okay, as long as she's fed, I can put her to sleep. So did the burps, did the lullaby thingy, and before I drop her, literally, I stood like this and I look at her and said, like, "You're okay? You're okay? You're okay." First time I did it, I was like, okay. It could have been, yeah, could have done that first and observe her what she's gonna do. First time I dropped her on the cot, I went to pee and she was like about to cry again massively. So I pick her up again, make sure that she was like dozed off an extra half an hour. So that was already like around 2:30 in the morning. And then literally again, I stood there, like, "You're okay. You're not moving." So there's a tip that I can tell you. Make sure you don't wobble her head once she's sleeping. Because if you try to move her up to a different position than what she was originally into, yeah, she would, your baby would definitely wake up. And at the same time, swaddling the baby, or putting a swaddle on her, would really help her stabilize herself so she doesn't move. It's been known fact that it recreates the experience of being in a snug, like in a womb of the mom. So she's getting that feeling of security. So it's really important that your baby's being put in a snug before you even put her onto her actual bed or the cot, or wherever you want to, wherever is appropriate in your side of the world. So yeah, a couple more things probably that I could mention is, after the weekend, we were just really, oh yeah, here, by the way, we need to sort out all of her paperwork. So it's not like back home where you go to the doctor and say, like, oh, the administrative office of your hospital will take care of everything. Maybe that's for some other countries as well. Here, you have to do it yourself. So we still had to sort that out, try to call in everyone, or at least on services here in SW. We kind of figured it out at some point, and then we just said, okay, that's one thing that we needed to sort out as well, which is quite interesting. At least one of the things that would really make this whole experience great was the fact that we didn't pay a cent. Because the country, we were being covered by the country's taxes. Yay! Or at least that's the healthcare package of Australia. So we're really lucky to get that residency in time for this little baba. Otherwise, yeah, a couple of G's will be out of pocket. And yeah, it's one of those, it's a feeling that you need. It's the feeling of not spending, or at least minimally spending, for the childbirth and everything in the hospital. That really gives a bit of a relief, if you want to call it that. At this point, there's really a lot of unknowns that needs to be sorted out. A lot of things that could probably use a little bit more of experience. Well, should use quite a lot of experience. I can definitely say, with just the past 7 days, that we owe a lot to your parents. I owe a lot to my folks for bringing me to this world. They provided a lot of effort. They at least I don't know how long this feeling is going to be, but definitely if this would be as long as the day I left their house, then yeah, I really owe them big time. Um, there are moments when I felt like I was stupid. Finish your basic education, prominent school, finish a degree in another prominent school, finished a couple more degrees after that, traveled the world, met lots of friends along the way, being able to experience different cultures, different modes of um, communication, different ways on how to talk to people, and I'm still feeling quite stupid and like an idiot because a simple cry and you can't even interpret what it is. It's like how hard can it be? Answer to that, it's bloody hard. And if there's one person who could tell me that it's gonna be easy, well, you're probably on the right. You probably have the right people around you. This is great. Which is one more thing that came out because it's literally just the two of us. We can't always bug our friends and say like, come over and have a look at our kid. Nah, that's not gonna be the case. But it's just literally me and my wife who will be taking care of this baba. I would say we're always in a state where we always say to each other, "Are we better today?" And yeah, we were, we are, we were better today than yesterday, and the feeling always gets better. It's really just getting the hang of the practice and how to get to that next stage of it. But really, this is one learning experience that I would definitely take with me. That's why I'm recording this, and that's the reason why I want to share this one to everyone. Hopefully by next week, a couple of things that are gonna improve. I'm also excited to incorporate my cooking into Baba's blog journey for the next 51 weeks. And yeah, we'll start it from here and then we'll see how we go. So for all of you guys who's tuning into this one, thank you very much. I really appreciate the support that we get all over the world. Our friends who saying that, and those are our immediate family members who's giving us all the words of wisdom that we need and we require in order to get through this. We're very happy and blessed that we got you guys, and also to our friends here in Sydney, who has always been there for us. Hopefully it's gonna get way better, and yeah, for now I will take a doze off because I'll be doing my 1 a.m. shift later. So stay tuned for the next episode of this series. I hope you got something out of this. One thing that I would really say at least is get to your parents. Just say a quick hi and say like, did you appreciate them and all the effort that you did? Because I definitely will be saying that to them. Till next time, bye.